RDTDaily.com presents a Tarabuster with comedian Tara Devlin.
All right. Where's my buttons? What's going on? Hello. Guys, hello. This is Tara Devlin, unapologetic liberal talk on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. How's it sounding out there in TV land? Hello, everybody. At youtube.com/see-for-channel/Tarabuster. Nice to see you. Nice to see the chat room filling up with the greatest people on earth. And even, I don't know, if you feel like hanging out, come on over. We meet here every Friday evening in this time frame. Usually I'm a little late. In fact, today I was saying to myself, earlier, I was like, I'm going to start the show early tonight. Surprise everybody. But of course, look at the time. Like, I don't know. I just can't. It goes it flies. God damn it. I wish you would become a patron. Oh, you know what I mean? I really do. At patreon.com/Tara Devlin. It might help. Get my, I don't know, it'll help. Maybe one day we'll have an actual studio. Please. At this rate, it'll say, please become a patron on my headstone. Okay? That's all I'm saying. All right. Well, thank you for hanging out. I want to thank you for supporting the show and keeping it going and growing because we need it. And I'm going to bring the receipts tonight to show you why we need shows like this. We need the actual liberal media, and we need this conversation going on because we're up against, we're fighting fascism. I'm sorry. We're not to the point. They're not, as far as I know, dragging us away in the middle of the night yet. But when they do, they will come for this show. Definitely. They'll come for me. They'll come for the liberal media, and that's what they want to do. And they are openly saying it now. So people say it can't happen here. It is happening here. And I've been saying for years, Republicans, they hate democracy, and I've talked about it before, and people say, oh, they would just pisha that. Oh, that's not true. You're just being hyperbolic. Or no, they really don't like democracy. They can only take it up to a point. It's sort of like in the Jim Crow South, they had the semblance of democracy for white people, for white men primarily, because the little women did what they were told. And when black people tried to vote, they had something for them, and it wasn't, put your name here on the rolls. It was, they had a decades campaign of terrorism, domestic terrorism too. And murder, hanging, lynching, all the greatest hits of the authoritarians. And they really hate democracy. Trump is becoming more, he hates democracy most of all because he's a little bitch who admires the world's most disgusting people because he is a disgusting person. Inherently, I don't understand how people look at him and say, yes, please, give me that. And then they say, give me more of that? After what we've already been through, what we are witnessing. We're talking about a bunch of traitors who stormed the Capitol and defecated in the Capitol, okay? Not everybody defecated. That's what they did. They urinated and defecated in the Capitol, and that was the least of what they did. They're disgusting. Of course they did, because the Capitol was also, you got to imagine how it went down. You had all these traitors in there. It was chaos. It was a riot. They were all feeding each other. They were violent. They were beating cops with flagpoles that were sharpened into spear points. They had bear spray and zip ties. I mean, these are dirtbags who hate America. You know, they should all be rotting in jail if we really want to get down to it. You know, I don't know what took them so long, because we all know if we're any other group but the whiny white bitches in the Trumpanzee death cult, we'd still be cleaning up the blood. And so they all went into the Capitol, and it's not like the bathrooms were, and if they were open, of course they became immediately clogged. You know what it's like when you go into a concert, let's say, right? And there's no porta potties. It gets, and the porta potties themselves will get overused, and that's exactly what happened. And even if they had to use the bathroom, and if they, they're gonna just stop and say, "Excuse me, I need to use the restroom." Of course, they took a dump in the Capitol. They thought it was funny too, and then they wiped their asses on the drapes. This is what they did. They're disgusting people who hate this country. And it's not the fringe anymore. They're in the halls of power. And they're talking about making Trump, they want Trump to be speaker. This is what I keep hearing. Perjury, Traitor, Greene saying she wants the con man to be the speaker. Because how much lower can they go? How much more can they disgrace the country? And I don't really want to know the answer to that question. I really don't want to know, because just when you think you hit bottom, they surprise you, and you're dragged down another 50 levels into Dante's freaking inferno. And and we have the receipts, okay? Because they're talking more about violence. They're openly saying that elections don't work. This is what I've been telling you guys. Am I wrong here? I've been saying this for a long time, that they hate America, they hate democracy. That's why they talk about Second Amendment remedies, and which is bullshit in itself. The whole like the founders put an insurrection clause in the Constitution when they didn't. It's not about overthrowing the democracy that they had just created, inspired by the liberal age of enlightenment. They put a mechanism in the Constitution to do something about your government. If you wanted to participate and you wanted to change the government, it's called an election, okay? But as we see, as we will discuss, they don't like elections. That's why they're like, it's rigged, it's stolen, because they can't win otherwise. They are a minority party, just like the Nazis were a minority party. The Nazis never won a majority of the votes either. So until they infiltrated from the inside, they went in and they rigged the system from the inside and ensured that no one could ever do anything about removing them from power. That's what we can expect if the filthy fascists get in power. I'm telling you, hey, let's not have a failure of imagination here. They are signaling it. They're saying it. They are basically broadcasting what they want to do to this country, and it is destroy democracy. And we're going to start there, because I'm pissed. I just want to say, all right. If you can, become a patron. I mean, what a segue. No, I just wanted to thank Charlie from APS Radio News for his support of Tarabuster and for hosting this show on his roster of independent media voices over at APS Radio News. And if you can check it out, if you want to check it out, go on over there and check out the other shows on the platform and say hi to Charlie. Okay, say hi, and thank you, Charlie, for your donation to Boudica's upbringing. She's a good girl. She's being a good girl. Over behind us, you'll see little Boo Boo. That's Boo Boo. That's not the producer. He's sleeping. That's good. The producer is in the bedroom with the other cats, because I knew they were going to start getting on my nerves. Boo Boo's been sleeping all day because he was fixed yesterday, and I think he's tired. You know, getting over the anesthesia. He's getting his shit together. Oh, there he is. Hello, Boo Boo. All right. So now that we got everything out of the way, thank you for hanging out. Thank you, Jim, for your super chat. Your lone super chat at the moment. We'll see if anybody else joins the list. And yeah, all right. If you can, also give the show a good review. You know, invite your friends, hang out, tell them, look, what are you doing on Friday? Come hang out in the Tarabuster chat room, because we need more. We need more of you, more of the normal people to take back this country. And what do we hear on the corporate media? We hear, oh, what do you think? Who you gonna vote for? Trump or Biden? As if these are two sides of the same coin, or different sides of the same coin. As if they are just two rational choices someone might make. And of course, I'm sure you saw that there is another jobs report. The unemployment rate is low. It's almost surprisingly low, and all the corporate media, they just can't help but spin it in a negative fashion. This is why we're seeing working people all over the country go on strike and ask for better, a bigger piece of the profits that labor makes possible in the first place, because there's freedom, that in economic mobility and upward mobility, and why not? When you have record profits as one of the signs that the auto workers are displaying, it's record profits means record contract. Of course, why shouldn't the working people get a fair piece of the pie? It makes sense. It doesn't, the only reason it doesn't make sense is because we've been conditioned. It makes sense for us because we're normal, but the right wingers have been conditioned to think that they are, billionaires are They have this. It's like a bromance or something. Some kind of crush on the rich, on the billionaire class, and they think that the billionaires, they can do anything, that they are the masters. They're just like bros who hang out, and they wish that they could be them, so they could just do whatever they want to and fuck everybody over. And like Elon Musk, they love Elon Musk, even though he's a fraudster, like Trump. He's a con man like Trump. And, Elon Musk is such a... He's not a genius. I'm sorry. I can't stress this enough. We went through many articles, and there were the lawsuits that he that's how he built his brand, is suing. He would use his daddy's blood money, his apartheid money, and buy his way into these corporations and sue them for the right, I guess, or sue them to get his name on the founders in the documents, in the corporate documents. where that's why he's only a co-founder of Tesla, because he's not even the founder. He bought into it. So somebody else came up with it first. But what genius, by the way, sits on a social media all day and I don't know, retweets anti-trans memes, right? Or what else did he just do? Is somebody something? Oh yes, that's what happened. Vivek Ramaswamy, who is a filthy liar, as we know, as they all are, was at a campaign stop or something. Where did I see this? Actually, it was on Crooks and Liars. And let's see, Vivek Ramaswamy. Let me go to Crooks and Liars and see if it's there still. Yeah, there it goes. Ramaswamy just got busted fundraising with a big lie. So he had some interaction with some protesters, and it was calm and rational on both sides. And after the fact, Ramaswamy posted on his Twitter account. He said, "I had a civil exchange with protesters today, right before two of them got into their car and rammed it into ours. Those two should be held accountable, but the rest of the peaceful protesters shouldn't be tarred by the bad behavior of two actors." Okay, so and in response to that, Elon Musk retweets it and says that was crazy, because he falls for anything. He's a right winger, and he hates woke, which means he just hates being a decent person. And because this started catching fire because of the con man Elon Musk amplifying it, and also he's a Putin puppet as well. Okay, the police department in that area felt the need to chime in, and they responded. It's with a press release saying, it's a little bit small, the text here. Let me blow it up a little bit. It just goes to show you. Here it is. So it says, on October 5th, 2023, at 1:02 p.m., Grimmel police were dispatched to the St. Rest Coffee House on whatever, on a report of a property damage accident. Upon arrival, GPD contacted blah, 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 who stated that she had eaten lunch at Jay's Deli, located at the back of the coffee house, got into her Honda Civic, blue in color, bearing whatever plates. What's that, man? Minnesota plates? I don't know. And began backing out of her parking spot to proceed northbound on Broad Street. While backing up, she accidentally made contact with a 2023 Ford Expedition, black in color, bearing Florida plates. Her Honda rear passenger side bumper impacted the driver's side rear bumper, and the Ford was parked on the opposite side of the street, unoccupied at the time of the accident. The impact caused minor damage to both vehicles. A report was taken, and the woman who was driving was released from the scene with a traffic summons for unsafe backing. The Ford was a rental associated with the Vivek Ramaswamy campaign. And, as presidential candidate Ramaswamy was having a campaign event at the coffee house at the time of the accident. The purpose of this media release is to clarify information circulating on social media concerning the details of this accident. It was reported on social media by Ramaswamy. Okay, by a liar who's trying to drum up campaign cash, because he's a filthy liar, as we already have established numerous times, and his own behavior establishes. And he has to turn himself into a victim, because that's what they are. And they have to conflate this nothing incident into some kind of assault. So the police continue. It says Megler, which is the woman's name, stated that, well, let me back up a sentence. It says, our investigation revealed that there was no evidence to substantiate that information. Meaning, okay, let me back up one more. It says, it was reported on social media that the two protesters intentionally rammed into Ramaswamy's vehicle and fled the scene. That was Ramaswamy saying that. Okay? Ramaswamy. He said that. It was reported. He said it. Saying that because he, like the rest of the right-wingers, they want to present themselves as victims. They are perpetual victims. Everyone's picking on them. So some minor incident becomes an assault. And this woman, apparently, she didn't even know who the car belonged to, and she stayed there. The cops came. They took a report. The woman got a summons. She didn't flee the scene. And it was nothing. It was a nothing incident. So it says, as the police felt the need to reiterate that nobody left the scene, and it says our investigation revealed no evidence to substantiate that information, meaning there was no intentional damage done, nobody fled the scene. And Megler stated she was not in the area to protest. She did not know who the vehicle she struck belonged to. She did not intentionally back into the vehicle. And she did not flee the scene of the accident. So, what do you expect from the right-wingers? And so to put a cherry on top of the story, Ramaswamy was asked about it, and he stands by his initial report. What else is new? What else is fucking new with these people? This tweeter thing says, Ramaswamy camp stands by their version of the story after being asked to respond to the police narrative. They share video of a car honking and flipping off the Ramaswamy campaign. So someone is honking, as you do when a Republican is speaking. Yeah, it's like that woman who was like blowing the whistle. That's not proof that somebody backed into your car, you filthy liar. It's proof that you're a liar and people are, they're onto your scam. So he said they share video. This is their response, is them sharing a video of a totally different person flipping them off and honking their horn. And the campaign doesn't have footage of the collision itself. And the spokesperson for Smarmy, the filthy liar, says, I am confident as a witness that it was the protesters. So regardless of the police or what the police say, what the police report, the Republicans never back down from a lie. They will never let go of their lies. They are filthy liars who are poisoning the country. They're poisoning the body politic. They are the cancer in the veins of the body politic. And which is why they must be legally and peacefully smashed into history's trash pile in this next election cycle. It's not that they will stop in the next election cycle. They're not going to stop. But we need a majority to such a point that perhaps the maggots will somehow be I don't know, maybe if there are normal Republicans. I keep hearing that they exist, but they're afraid. They're afraid to come out because the Republican, the cult might murder them or their family, which is like what we're talking about. how they hate America, they hate democracy, they can't function in a democracy, and they're talking about civil war. And I say, what if you have a civil war and nobody shows up, right? I don't civil war. Go, it's like go Galt, like we were talking about yesterday. Civil war. No need for a civil war, booby. Just get the fuck out. Just get the fuck out. No one's gonna fire a shot. No one's gonna stop you. We don't want you. We're just like, you don't want to be here? We don't want the albatross of violence, of discord, of racism, of division, hanging over our heads. Hanging like around our national necks. The albatross of conservative, of this monster show that can't govern, doesn't want to govern. They have no interest in helping people. The only interest they have in government is to make the rich richer and ensure that the con men can get away with their grifts. They're pissed off now because Trump, he's being attacked by our injustice system. What a system of injustice when a con man's grifts finally catch up to him. And he has to explain his lying on documents and his tax cheating. It's right there in black and white. So explain it, right? He can't explain it. And he's like, oh, well, it's all subjective. That's the way real estate is. It goes up one day, it goes down one day. But how come it always goes up and down in your favor? Right? Oh, yeah. And plus, you don't overestimate the size of your tacky gilded apartment in Trump Roach Motel Tower. But only to your. It's like he gained, the way he gained a couple of inches on his height and lost 25 pounds. And then, it's the same thing that happened with his apartment. It got bigger, it got smaller, depending on the needs. I don't know where he lives, right? He lives in his mind, in his own world. What a shitty, disgusting mind, too. Ugh. And we were talking about this yesterday as well, how Republicans, the normal ones, because they're cowards, they want to, yeah, Jim on the chat, overestimate the size of your, well, just say everything. Yeah, exactly. Well, it's like the size of his, you know what I mean? When they were that's what they would discuss it. We knew it was going to be bad when they were arguing about the size of their dicks at the Republican debate. The clown show. Clowns. Don't you have any decency, dignity? No, they don't. So, that's why they want to make, Perjury, Traitor, Greene is saying, oh, I'm all for Trump as speaker. He's going to be a great president. He's going to be our next president. He's going to be the best. And because she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. I just saw a video of Perjury, Traitor, Greene going on about how NATO, we got to pull out of NATO. I hate these people. They are traitors. You understand that Perjury, Traitor, Greene is always on Russian state television as a cheerleader for Putin, and they play her clips as if she's a serious person that people take seriously. Like, here's a representative in the United States Congress who says, Ukraine is filled with Nazis and how the Americans should pull out of NATO. She's actually saying this. She's like, we're getting a bad deal. with NATO. They don't pay us. Pay us. Give us money. $20. I want $20. Fucking everything is money to these idiots. When there's more return on investment in having a democratic world, a world of like-minded Western democracies, civilizations not run by butchers and con men and grifters and oligarchs and greed-centered scumbags that lure journalists into embassies and dismember them alive. Right? But these fucking people, she doesn't know shit, that woman. She is a disgrace to human DNA. She knows nothing. And she's there talking about NATO because she doesn't have a clue. She doesn't have a clue about the reason we have a NATO. She doesn't know. She's like, oh, give me money. We need money. Fucking petty little bitches. Oh, Kathy says, did you hear how Perjury Traitor Greene pronounced Nazi? No. What did she say? She's a very annoying voice. I know I don't sound like a chorus of angels, but I don't sound like her. I know that. She's gross. She's just a horrible it's like, go back to CrossFit. And then she's making videos. Well, when I said CrossFit, I had the image of her doing her stupid Instagram videos at her CrossFit. Like she's just in between sets going, Joe Biden is a piece of shit. That's who these people are. I have that too. Should I play that? I don't know. We have enough to talk about. I guess I will if I find it. Joe Biden, I'm actually making her voice sound better. Let's see. Anyway, whatever. She's all sweaty. Joe Biden, you're a piece of shit. Well, isn't that a interesting, scintillating point you have there, Perjury Traitor Greene? What a wordsmith you are. Such scintillating discourse coming from one of the giants in the Republican Party. Filth. You know, how does anybody vote for that? That's the other thing I keep saying. Why? Who are you people? Do you have any dignity? Who voted for Perjury Traitor Greene?
Joe Biden, you're not a president. You're a piece of shit.
Well, like, thanks for the nightmares, Perjury. My God. My God, my God. How did we fall this far? Right? All right, well, I know this is a Tarabuster. It's being, we're all over the place. Thank you, Ed, for your super chat. Ed says, no Jim Jordan. That's right. Well, I don't think Jim Jordan's gonna get enough votes. It's going to be a shit show. They will take a very long time to pick a speaker. It's gonna be a clown show. But either way, so, and we touched on it a little bit yesterday, when they, whoever they pick is gonna be a nightmare. And if it's Jim Jordan, because Jim Jordan's a traitor, you understand? He is a coup plotting. He's up to the tip of his head with treason. He's a fucking traitor. The Republican Party is a clown show. You know, he's on, what is he? Jim Jordan's on the Judiciary Committee, and he never even passed the bar. So they all suck. They're all unfit. They're all in over their heads. And it doesn't matter, though, because what they're doing is putting on a show. They put on the pantomime. You know, forget the bread and circus. They're the circus. The pantomime of democracy. The pantomime of government. And while they put on a show where they trigger the libs, they attack other people, you know, the normal people who are trying to have a functioning democracy, they're not doing anything for us, the people. They're not lowering the inflation rate. You know, we heard all about inflation. Inflation's coming down. The United States inflation rate is coming down faster than any other country in our Western partnerships, right? So the unemployment rate, I mean, the economic recovery is pretty stunning. And in fact, the Republicans don't even know what to do about it. They don't even know how to frame it. They're saying how when the numbers came out today about how low the unemployment rate is, the Republicans were on Fox News and wherever else they fanned out. They were saying, I don't believe it. We have to start checking these numbers. They think that, you know, they're putting out the suspicion again that something is rigged. They're cheating again. It's a fake number. Don't believe your lying eyes. Just believe Trump. Believe what he tells you. Believe what they tell you. They're disgusting. These people are disgusting. So, well, let's go to one of the examples of how they hate America and lack the fundamental ability to function in a free democratic society. I'm sure maybe you heard or saw Greg Gutfeld. Now, this is a major network, right? This is Rupert Murdoch's pus, Fox News, the infected pus on the body politic that oozes out. That's Fox News. And then there's a whole bunch of morons who sit there and lap it up like it's mother's milk, from a channel that has to pay $2 billion for lying to them. You know, you got to ask, don't you have any dignity? When do you wake up and say, why am I watching a channel that has to pay $2 billion because it lies? Right? Wouldn't you? I'm telling, just take it, just check yourself for a second. Ask yourself, if you found out that a channel had to pay, that you're consuming news, you're watching a news show, and then you find out that this news show was fined $2 billion because it lied systemically, repeatedly, again and again and again about a major issue in this country, lying about the election, lying that the election was stolen with the aid of these voting machines. And you're going to turn that channel on again and watch that show, watch those shows, watch that channel? It's because what they have to be getting something out of it, and what they're getting out of it is they want to be lied to. They don't care. They want to, because the actual world is too scary for them. Okay? It's like the Heaven's Gate cult. They'll create their own reality. No, this isn't the real world. We're actually space aliens, and as soon as Hale-Bopp comes around again, we're going to be beamed up by committing suicide. And if you watch those the Heaven's Gate videos, I'm sure they're on YouTube, of the videos of the Heaven's Gate cult members, their last, videos that they made for their families and whatnot, saying, "Oh, goodbye, and I'm gonna be off to the moon," and blah blah blah. It struck me because one of the poor saps said, they think I'm crazy. My family thinks I'm crazy, but I'm not. Right? Honey, you think you're going to commit suicide to be beamed up to a freaking spaceship that's hiding behind the Hale-Bopp comet, all because, you know why? Because this guy, the one who you call Doe or whatever, was a gay man who could not accept himself. His father was a homophobe. His father used to beat and berate him, and him, he tried to hide. He tried to have a marriage with a woman. But ultimately he obviously he couldn't do it. So he created this whole thing and this is why they were asexual. They weren't allowed to have sex. They weren't allowed to have thoughts about sex, or that's why they castrated themselves. It's all because this guy hated himself because of homophobia. I mean, it's so typical. It's so Ethan Schmidt. Yeah. Hale-Bopp. I know. Maybe we should go hide behind Hale-Bopp. I wish. Beam us up. They think I'm crazy. But that is how the Republicans, the cult, thinks. They're like, they all think I'm crazy, but I'm not. No, you're crazy. You're in a cult. We'll get to that because I want to talk about, well, let's talk about Greg Gutfeld first. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about was Hillary Clinton is triggering the Republicans again. Show me on this doll where Hillary hurt you, Republicans. Point to it. Point to the place where you feel she hurt you. Poor babies, right? So here's Greg Gutfeld, or Gutless, however you want to say it.
This defiant refusal to reverse this decline argues against the survival of a country. What does that leave you with? It leaves you with you need to make war to bring peace, because you have a side that cannot change, because then that means an admission that their beliefs have been corrupt all the time. So in a way...
Pot? Meat kettle. What is he talking about? See, they're in the alternate reality. We have a side that won't change, and no, because we have a constitution, and we abide by the constitution, and we have elections. We're trying to make a more perfect union. We are trying to make a country that works for more than just one filthy con man who's 91 times indicted and 2 times impeached and waves around classified documents because he's a fragile little bitch who needs to impress everybody. And he has no business being anywhere near the Oval Office or any office, frankly. He should be selling cars or used cars. In fact, actually, I take that back. He shouldn't be selling used cars because you couldn't trust them. He's the proverbial used car salesman. He is a grifter. And you are in a cult. You've been bamboozled only because he's your mirror, and he validates everything about you, which is you hate democracy, you hate other people, you hate the diversity of America. You see, you know what I'm saying? I've been saying it all along. I've been saying it every damn show. They can't stand America. That's why they have to overcompensate with their ugly flags and wearing all red, white, and blue ugly of fashion abortions and waving their flags and USA, USA, and calling themselves patriots. They're not patriots. They're not even close to patriotic. A patriot accepts the peaceful transfer of power. A patriot understands what this thing is, what this grand experiment in liberal democracy is. That's why people died for this country. Not so a bunch of fucking grifters can keep on grifting without consequences. This is what they hate about the country. They hate that the consequences are coming, that we are becoming a more perfect union that way. They hate when the general welfare is promoted over the welfare of the transnational corporate elite and the billionaires who keep them like pets, like Uncle Clarence. They're all and all of them, Roberts, Alito, all of these illegitimate Supreme Court justices that they corrupt. They corrupt the Supreme Court. You see, that's another example of them hating America. They hate America so much they can't abide by the rules. You know, democracy, and that, like any civilization, has to run through by agreement. People have to agree to the rules and abide by them. But Republicans, this is what we get. Greg Gutfeld. It's not working. It's not working because they lose. Nobody wants what they're selling. That's why they have to inflict it on us, despite receiving fewer votes, despite being a minority ideology, holding minority views, like stripping women of bodily autonomy. And now they want to do it to the entire country. You know, first it's the states, everything to the states. They're full of shit. They fix the facts around the policy. Just tell them it's about the states. No, it's about control. It's about authoritarianism. It's about putting people in their place. Putting everybody in their hierarchies with white men, straight white, rich men at the top, and that's it. And if you can't go with the flow there, as Greg Gutfeld is saying, they need to commit violence, inflict violence on you, and he says it.
You have to force them to surrender.
Or we could make love, not war.
I tried that once.
Or we have an election.
I had to go to a doctor.
Right. Election, yeah.
No, elections don't work. We know that. We know they don't work.
They do work.
Look what we have. Look what we have.
But
We had a moderate president, and we have crime exploding everywhere. We had a Democrat.
Listen to this fucking piece of shit. Like, I just reminded myself of Perjury, Traitor, Greene.
Exploding everywhere. We had a Democrat.
I mean, he's talking about these Republican talking points. You know, look, we got crime exploding everywhere and the borders wide open. Bullshit. It's all bullshit. You know, if there's crime, you know, we address it. But Republicans don't want to address it. They don't want to come up with a solution. They want us to be fighting. They want us at each other's throats. They're not sincere partners. It's the same thing with the border, like we talked about yesterday. They don't want to come up with any solution. Democrats, you know, they had the bipartisan, reform that they were proposing with the Republicans, and the Republicans blocked it. So, because they would much rather throw stones and point fingers and say things like the border's wide open. It helps their cause of overthrowing democracy. That's it. Because it triggers the racist funny bones, and then they can say, look, it's out of control. Everything's out of control. It's the worst. And what is he talking about? You know, everything that is just nothing but a Fox News, fake news talking point. Oh, the border's wide open. We had a president that said he was going to be a moderate. And now he's see, this is what always gets me about the Republicans. Because Joe Biden said he wants to bring people together and he wants to unify the country. And Republicans are like, anytime Joe Biden does anything, passes a policy, like tries to relieve student loan debt, tries to expand the Medicare or Medicaid, tries to do anything that helps people, they're like, oh, he said he was going to unify us. He's dividing us now again. When it's because they think that unifying is doing everything they want, doing everything Republicans want. If you're not doing everything that they want, which is nothing, the only thing they want is make the rich richer. What is Joe Biden supposed to do? Give another tax break to billionaires? Well, he's supposed to turn a blind eye, I'm sure, when we find out that Uncle Clarence is being kept as a billionaire's pet and the rest of the Supreme Court, right? That's what they want. Just turn a blind. Hey, boys club, right? Go with the flow. Don't pester Republicans. This is the way it is. Rich run and rule. They don't pay taxes. What are you talking about? And then anytime Joe Biden has a win, they have to make it like, oh, he said he was gonna unify us, and now we're divided why? Because you're triggered? Because you lost a fucking election, and you can't handle. Why don't you shut your mouth? And if you can't, why don't you please? I really wish they would secede already. I know others are like, that's not nice or something. I don't know. I'm just sick of them. Go. They don't want to secede because they want all the benefits of civilization. They just don't want to share with other people. So they need to inflict authoritarianism on the country so they can put everybody in their place. Like Trump said, he's going after the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He wants, people should be executed. The heads of NBC and MSNBC should be executed. What do you you got to take them at their word. They mean it. As Michael Cohen said when he testified, that if Trump loses the election, there will not be a peaceful transfer of power. And he was 100% right. He knew the con man. All right, let's get back. I'm sorry I cut him off, but it gets even more infuriating.
To surrender.
Or we could make love, not war.
I tried that once.
Or we have an election.
I had to go to a doctor.
Election, yeah.
No, elections don't work. We know that. We know they don't work.
They do work.
Look what we have. Look what we have.
but
We had a moderate president, and we have crime exploding everywhere. We had a Democrat president promise that he was going to be moderate, promise that he was going
to... You see what I'm saying? They can't even say the name of the party. Democratic. We had a Democrat president. Democratic, you fucking tedious child.
Unite the country. And now we have a terrible education system. We have no border. We have crime.
We have no border, a terrible education system. And why is it terrible? I'm going into their minds. I know I don't want to go there alone without a flashlight and a gun and backup, but okay. Why is it terrible? Because there's diversity, right? Kids are woke. They're being taught not to be a bunch of pricks. They're taught about be nice, be decent. They don't like that, though. Republicans don't want that. They want kids to be like beating each other up and not reading any books. That's for sure. They want them to be indoctrinated with the most disgusting Nazi whatever, Nazi all the cover-ups for any conservative movement. I'm just thinking about the PragerU cartoons that they're showing kids now. It's the stuff of nightmares, where Frederick Douglass is saying, well, slavery wasn't that bad. It's a lot better than being killed, right? Slavery wasn't too bad. What the fuck? Where do we live? That's why they hate public schools, right? It's the whole thing. Everything about it, when you distill it into what it is about, it's about undermining democracy. Every pillar of democracy, Republicans hate. They loathe the pillars of democracy, and public education is one of them. The courts, another. Equal justice under the law. That's supposed to be one of our, touchstones, or that's what makes America great. Because back in the day, in the country, in the system that the founders fought a revolution to overthrow, there were different laws for the nobility. There were different laws if you were, depending on your class. Where were you? Yeah, if you were poor, it was different. It's like that's what they want. That's what they want. All right.
Everywhere. Every facet of society is in peril and in chaos because our elections don't matter.
No, elections do matter. We don't need to go to war for it. We go to the election booth and vote the people out who don't do the things you say.
I wish. See? And, of course, Fox News itself, the parent company, the executives at Fox News, they haven't responded to this as if this is normal. This is just part of the discourse you hear on Fox News. There's no repercussions. It's not like this is some dinky podcast like my show. You're talking about a message that goes out to millions of people, millions of morons. Elections don't matter. We need to make war to have peace. Who said that? I think that was Mussolini. And if it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck. It's a goddamn duck. These people, they use the same language of the fascists, of the authoritarians, because that's what they are. And they've always been that. It's like having them conform to a democratic system has always been uncomfortable for them. And it's like, expecting a chimpanzee to walk upright all the time. You can make them do it for a little bit and it looks cute. But eventually they're going to revert back to their knuckles. And that's what we're looking at. Because that's it. Trump allowed the fascists' freak flags to fly. So as you see, I grabbed this clip from Rising from the Hill. I just want to play this one thing. I want to show you because it pissed me off. Yeah, I got to play it off the computer. So let me see. Where is it? Not that. Right here. Where is it? Where are you guys? Let's shut that.
For years, and
okay, so I don't know who this guy is, but so they played the clip.
Go to the election booth and vote the people out who don't do the things you say.
It's a stark argument to make, but I feel the frustration, and I feel that he's speaking for a lot of people who normally don't have a voice in the national conversation.
Fucking kidding me? You see, he's a conservative, or I imagine. I don't know who that person is, Spencer Brown. But I feel the frustration. He's speaking for people who don't often have or don't normally have a voice in the national conversation. What are you talking about? These clowns have too much of a voice. They're constantly screeching. I can't shut them out. Everywhere I go, they're screeching. Just like I was telling you on that game, that Game of Thrones game I play, there they are, screeching. You think you can get a nice, stupid little distraction and play a game for a minute. And there they are. Hunter Biden's laptop. Shut the fuck up for a minute. Why don't you stop screeching and listen? Take the cotton out of your ears and put it in your mouth, as we say. But it gets worse. Here, listen.
Let alone on a cable news network. And it's this idea that, we've tried everything, we've done everything, and it doesn't seem like things are getting better. Whether or not Joe Biden was actually a Trojan horse and people believed that he was going to be a moderate and not sort of run to the left side of the Democrat Party and pursue a lot of these policies.
You see what I'm saying? Run to the left side of the Democrat Party. There is no... I'm sorry, I'm not... That's why I'm turning my head, because I don't want to scream into the microphone. There is no Democrat Party, child. And I can't. I just can't. The fact is, these people are whining and crying about, Joe Biden said he was going to be a moderate, and now he's not. Why? Because I wish he was a lefty. Like they cry about. What is left about him? Because he's not a filthy racist? Because he doesn't hate gay people and trans people? What, he needs to suck a billionaire's ass in Macy's window? Like Trump? And they cry, he's running to the left. He said he was going to be a moderate. He never said he was going to be a moderate. He ran on what he ran on, and that's what he's trying to do. He ran on forgiving student loan debt. That's what he ran on. He ran on the things he's doing. Nothing's a surprise here. And people voted for him. That's how it works in a free democratic society. And then he's like, the Democrat Party. Fuck you. I can't take it. I can't take these people. I just, it gets on my nerves. It's like, to me, when I'm watching corporate media, and then sometimes they won't come right out and say Democrat Party. They'll say the Democrat president, or the Democrat something, or Democrat city. It's not Democrat. It's Democratic, fuckers. And I swear to God, it irritates the F out of me, because nobody corrects it. No one corrects it on the corporate media. And the Democrats don't correct it. Except I've played the clip of Jamie Raskin giving Lauren Band from the Bowling Alley Bobert a lesson in Democratic Party. But I actually called up my representative, AOC, and I left a message. Most of the time, I have to tell you, they answer the phone at AOC's office. And if you leave a message, they call you back, which is very rare, frankly. And, it doesn't happen when I call Schumer or Gillibrand. So, in any case, and I said, one of the things we need to start doing is simply, it takes a second. It just says, you know what? It's the Democratic Party. I don't call you outside your name, and you're complaining about how come we can't get along? We're so divided. You want to pretend to be a sincere partner? You want to be a sincere partner in this? Then try calling us by our names. Right? You know? The Democrat Party. It starts there. Try growing up. And the Republicans, I mean, I say that only because to highlight the fact that they can't call us by our names ever. It's like when they start calling Democratic Party, then I won't have to say Republican Party anymore. But the fact is, how don't you? It's like it's a reflection on us too. You know, how many times do you have to have somebody call you outside your name before you're like, enough? You know, how many times? At this point, it's like you are. It betrays to me. I might be wrong. You guys can give me your opinion on it, but it says that you have no dignity, you know? Like, you've been, you know what? You don't even respond anymore. You're beaten. You're a beaten dog. When somebody keeps calling you outside your name, and you don't correct them, you're like, do you have any self-respect? And that's what it feels like to me when the Republicans do, you know, just keep doing it. And it's everywhere. Like this fucking show, as he's crying about, Joe Biden said he'd be a moderate. Well, why don't you start calling people by their names, you tedious child? Oh, and I feel the frustration. I feel the frustration of a civil war. I feel people vote and, well, guess what, bitch? You don't win all the time. I'm sick of it, frankly. I'm sick of winning and still having to endure Republican so-called leadership. I remember when I won, not me personally, when the Democratic Party won the 2000 election. And then they were counting the votes. And here steps the friggin' illegitimate Supreme Court to stop the votes and to stop the vote counting. And all along, the filthy fascists, remember them when the people were trying to count the votes and the filthy fascists are banging on the door? Because they hate democracy. They hate America. They hate their fellow Americans. They don't want democracy to succeed. They can't win elections. They know that. That's why they want to install their filthy traitor at the top and keep the oligarchy going, keep the money flowing to the top, and the rest of us can fight over the scraps out here, while the Trumpanzees get to feel big by calling people the N-word and saying woke and hating people openly and having no repercussions. That's what they want. That is what they think freedom is. It's not the freedom to go see a doctor when you're sick or the freedom to get a higher education and living wages, retirement security. No. They need, to them, freedom is the freedom to not give a shit about anybody but themselves. To not have any repercussions. It's like babies, you know? That's what they want. They are too immature. They don't want any repercussions for their abhorrent behavior. They don't want to have to answer. That's what, I'm being canceled. And, well, what did you do? What did you say? Oh, I want to be able to say that, I want to call people outside their name. I want to be able to misgender people. I want to be anti-gay. I want to be racist and say the most disgusting things about other human beings. And I want no repercussions for it. That's the party of personal responsibility. Like we see this whole week with the responsibility for the for the speakership, for the clown show. It's the Democrats' fault. The Democrats did it again. The Democrats made me feel icky. They did it again. The Democrats so much power to control these freaks. I really wish that was true. Because I would say, get the F out already. Get out. Go. I mean, there's a whole bunch of land in Wyoming. It's open. Move your asses there. Just make a Trumpanzee village. Call it Trump, I don't know. Trump, it's like Alexandria. Something like that. A Trump version. What do you call it? Trumpistan, something like that. Yeah, why not? Party of personal responsibility.
Like things are getting better, whether or not Joe Biden was actually a Trojan horse and people believed that he was going to be a moderate and not sort of run to the left side of the Democrat Party and pursue a lot of these policies. We had Trump for 4
years. He says it so calmly, so even-keeled, the way he ran to the left of the Democrat Party. You know there's no Democrat Party, you tedious child. You're simply repeating a pejorative. They're throwing up a gang sign. That's what it is. It's like, yo, I'm like you too. I'm a fascist too. I hate America too, see? I don't want to have a sincere partnership in this constitutionally limited democratic republic with the other representatives who might be in a different party. No. We're gonna vilify that party. We're not even call them by their name. See, we're gonna call them Democrat, and we're gonna emphasize the rat. And that one's okay. I'll leave it there for now, because we will revisit it again, I'm sure. But no one ever points it out, and I swear to God, I'm sick of it. I really am. I think I might faint if I hear someone on the corporate media point it out and say, "Excuse me, enough with this Democrat Party," or say Democrat politician or Democrat. No, it's Democratic, scummy. But okay.
4 years, and even when
moving on to another little triggered little bitches that they are, the poor put upon traitors. Oh wait, perfect time for me to drink my filthy looking Crystal Light in a recycled plastic bottle. I gotta shake it up. It's supposed to be raspberry. Crystal Light. It doesn't look looks kind of like mud. But it's nothing but sugar water. Cheers. Cheers. Thank you for indulging me. Look at Boo Boo, how cute he is. Okay, calm down. I need to calm. Calm is nice. Calm is nice. Calm. Okay. I swear I'm gonna have... No wonder I'm on high blood pressure meds. Look where the fuck I live. So Greg Gutfeld wants civil war. Of course, I mean... Why don't you just secede? Gutfeld? Gutless? What a stupid. I mean, I don't mean to be superficial, but what a dumb face, too. Oh, what a stupid man. What a stupid person, legally and peacefully. How dumb. You see what I mean? This is why it's so frustrating that we have to. I gotta sit here saying, please become a patron. And that's fucking goon is talking about civil war. What does he know? Right? It's always somebody else, too, that's gonna do the fighting for these scummies. Go. I mean, he would never rough up his dishpan hands. His silky, smooth hands that have never fucking worked a day in their lives. Attached to that face. Ugh. What is so funny about him? He's supposed to be the funny one on there. Ugh. It's really abhorrent. That's why we have to, I'm telling you, man, that's it. We have to destroy these people legally and peacefully in the next election. They have to be crushed, and they won't go away then either. They'll keep whining, but they have to be crushed. And maybe when they're crushed, the normal people will start growing a spine. But you know what's going to happen? This is what I predict. They will never, ever break free of this maggot cult until Trump drops dead. You get it? It's the truth. Until he legally and peacefully drops dead. Until he strokes the fuck out and joins, I mean, it's fucking, and still, until he strokes out and joins Rush Limbaugh in hell, and Breitbart, and I don't know, till he steps off this mortal coil, and it will happen, as it will to all of us. He will have this Republican Party in the palm of his tiny, grubby little greed-centered mittens. His Vulgarian, short-fingered Vulgarian mitts. Ugh. What a piece of dirt. Thinking about the short-fingered Vulgarian, you know where that comes from. I think it was a writer, I'm not sure from which publication, but a writer wrote about Trump as calling him a short-fingered Vulgarian. And this is well before he squatted in the White House despite receiving fewer votes. And for years, Trump, the short-fingered Vulgarian, would send this writer an outline of his hand. He drew it like a child draws, like for Thanksgiving they draw the turkey, and he'd say not too short, right, or something like that. He would describe how his hands were normal sized, his fingers were normal sized. Now, what? That's a grown-ass man that does that. That's a grown-ass, sad excuse for a man with a waste of human DNA. They're disgusting. There's something wrong with them all. There's something wrong. If they only got help, but okay, that's not going to happen. So, in Where Did Hillary Hurt You? News, where did Hillary touch you and hurt you? Well, Hillary Clinton apparently, because all day I was seeing this. They're like cult, Trump cult. It's on Twitter. I really wish Threads the competition to Twitter. I want to get off Twitter really bad, but it has the news feed, and Threads needs to catch up and make that news feed like yesterday. That's the only thing that's missing on there. And you see, and just like I'm saying, we're going into talking about this Hillary Clinton thing. I just went on to Twitter right at the top. Of course, I don't know why. You see, I don't follow Fox News. Right? Look at that. See? I'm not following it. Why is it showing up at the top of my feed? Why? Why is Sean Hannity at the top of my feed? You see what I'm saying? These fuckers. That's Elon Musk. Well, there's Barack Obama. He's just thrown in there. I don't follow him either. Do I? Do I follow him? I probably do, actually. Yes, see, following. Why isn't he at the top then? Why am I getting fucking Fox News at the top? Because that's the way Republicans are. They love freedom, you see? They love freedom so much, they want to shove their filthy world down your throats. They're always crying and complaining about things being shoved down their throats, paging Dr. Freud, but nobody shoves anything down people's throats like right-wingers. I don't want to see this filthy, stupid channel that has to pay $2 billion for lying to people. Why would I? Who cares? I want legitimate news. Sean Hannity? Why? Trump, he is strong on crime, on borders, on military vets. Are you out of your gourd, Hannity? He hates the military. He's the one that he doesn't want to be seen with wounded vets. He doesn't understand what's in it for them, those who made the ultimate sacrifice for this country. Which is another reason why he's got to be crushed legally and peacefully. He needs to be put into history's trash bin for the sake and the sacrifice of those people who gave their lives for this country. Think of them when you're standing in the line at the voting booth when they're on election day, when Republicans are trying to make it difficult for you to vote, as they do. Yeah, we should have it should be a national holiday. You realize, I don't want to get off on this other tangent, but that whole the John Lewis Voting Rights Act, we would be living in a much different country. The election day was a holiday in there, and also gerrymandering would be illegal. So we would have a nonpartisan, I think it was going to be done through, not just, they were going to do it with the help of computers and a nonpartisan board or commission to draw maps, fair maps of districts, accurate and fair, not like Jim Jordan's district. Oh no, don't tell me. It's the end of the Progressive Voices part of the show. What? Well, come on back, Progressive Voices, to youtube.com/C for channel /Tarabuster. Come on over to YouTube. I just said that. C for channel /Tarabuster to hear the rest of the show. Damn it. Because we're going to talk about Hillary Clinton hurting the cult. She really hurt them. And you need to hang out and we'll talk about it. We will win. Thank you, Charlie from APS Radio News, for hosting Tarabuster on your platform and for your support. Become a patron at patreon.com. I said that already. /whatever. We will win. I can't believe it. You see, when I'm right before the show goes on today, okay? In particular, I was very tired today. I was very tired. You might see it. I feel very tired. I just want to sleep. I want to go to sleep. And when when the show gets going, I just can't stop. I don't know. Do you like, is this a good show? I'm feeling very insecure suddenly. Is this a good show? Oh man, I need help, man. Somebody help me. Will somebody help me, please? I'm just kidding. All right, what was I saying? All right, let's talk about... That's funny. Thank you, Jim. You're very sweet. It's a very good show. Very good. Very good. Okay. Good. Let's see. Oh, Kathy says it's a holiday in some other countries. Tuesday in November. It is? Oh, yes. You're talking about... What am I talking about? You're talking about Election Day. Exactly. It should be a holiday. But see, we've tried to make Election Day a holiday numerous times. And you're way ahead of me. The Republicans have blocked it. They voted against everything that sucks in this country comes from the conservatives. And I've posed this question or challenge before. And I'd like to know. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Somebody tell me. Tell me, please. What have they ever done that's good for this country? Right? Show me a successful conservative country or a successful country that is run by conservatives or a conservative government where it works for people, where people are happy, where people are, content. Yeah, all I see when I look at the surveys, the happiest places on earth, they're all the democratic socialist countries that understand freedom, that understand this blip of time that we're working and living together in is fleeting. And they get it. They get the meaning of life. What is the meaning of life, Is it to make Elon Musk and the rest and these dumb bastards rich so they can do nothing for us? No. There should be benefits of civilization. I mean, we do have some benefits of civilization, right? You expect certain things from the civilization. You expect that the water is clean, the air is clean, the environment is clean, the streets are paved and functioning, and you just expect the infrastructure of democracy, of freedom to be there. So you have free time. I can, if I want to eat, I go to the supermarket. I buy my food. I don't have to go out and fend for myself out there. Like poor little Boo Boo. See? Ask Boo Boo what it's like. Fending for yourself out there. And if for those who don't know, Boo Boo's the rescue cat who was in very bad shape. Because he was, starving out there. So, I mean, he didn't know how to fend for himself. He didn't have the infrastructure of freedom. He was suffering. And, Republicans, they want all that. But they just don't want to have what? They don't, and I contend, and I'm sure you agree, that the only reason we don't have universal health care in this country is because of racism. Every time it's been proposed or it's been gotten anywhere near a realm of possibility. Oh my God, Jeffrey Giraffe with the super chat. the amazingly generous super chat. Thank you, Jeffrey. And everybody saw it come in on the feed. You're very generous. Thank you so much, Jeffrey. You keep the show going and growing. And me spiritually. It matters. It really does. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, little. I see you guys talking about Boo Boo. Let me show you Boo Boo. You want to see Boo Boo? We'll get back to Hillary Clinton in a minute. I think, did I show you this video of Boo Boo when he was rescued? How bad he looked? Did I show you that? It was terrible. He was 6 pounds. Now he's 9.5. So he's put on weight. He's good. He got fixed, I told you, yeah. And look at him. Did I show you this picture of him? Well, let me put the camera up. See that? Bones. Nothing but bones. It was even hard to touch him because he was just bones sticking out. It was just so sad. And this was when he was in the shelter. You see the little orange? It's like, where is this cat? And then I called him. I was like, are you in there? And he came out. He was like, let's get the fuck out of here. Let's get out of here. He was ready. Look how skinny. He was like, I'm ready. Let's go. And there he goes. It was the fastest rescue I ever had. He was like, jumped right into my arms. Let's go. It's like Thelma and Louise. Let's get out of here. All right. Poor thing. All right. People are tuning out. They don't want to hear this shit. Okay. So let's get back to Hillary, because Republicans are ridiculous. They're upset, just like I said. So I went on to Twitter, and right there at the top of the feed, even though I don't subscribe to Fox News on Twitter, is they're complaining about Hillary Clinton and how she said that they're in a cult. They need to be deprogrammed. What did she say that's wrong? Let's play the clip. I have it here. Where is it? I can't find my eCam. Come on, ma'am.
But there wasn't this little tail of extremism wagging the dog of the Republican Party as it is today. Mm-hmm. And sadly, so many of those extremists, those MAGA extremists, take their marching orders from Donald Trump, who has no credibility left by any measure. He's only in it for himself. He's now defending himself in civil actions and criminal actions. And when do they break with him? Because at some point, maybe there needs to be a formal deprogramming of the cult members.
Yeah, that's right, Hillary. She's 100% correct. But the right-wingers, the Republicans, are all upset. She said, look, conservatives are disturbed by Clinton's call for deprogramming Trump supporters. And guess what? They call it pure authoritarianism. You see what I'm saying? Oh, wait, it's not the Republicans who are the authoritarians, the ones who are spreading fear, lies, dissension, calling elections rigged and stolen, calling for violence and civil war, trying to install their dim leader, their dumb Führer in the White House despite receiving fewer votes. It's That one, the one who says that immigrants are poisoning the blood of the country, and who sent a mob of traitors into the Capitol to try to stop the peaceful transfer of power, and they were successful for a little while, who chanted to hang the vice president because he wouldn't go along with the coup, and now the ones who says that the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff should be executed because he didn't go along with the coup, and who promises if he gets back into the office despite receiving fewer votes, he will engage in a campaign of retribution. They're not the authoritarians. We are. The ones who wear normal clothes, who don't have to, we don't pour our entire identity. We don't get our entire identity from a con man. That one, right? We're the ones who are. Here's Trump. It's not. Oh, this isn't authoritarian.
Well, General Milley, what he did is really treasonous. If you look at what he said to China, he's either stupid or it's treason. But what he said to China should never be allowed. That can never be allowed in our country.
If you rob a store, you can fully expect to be shot as you are leaving that store. Shot. We will take on the ultra-left-wing liars, losers, creeps, perverts, and freaks who are devouring the future of this state like a swarm of locusts.
We've never seen anything like what's happening in Washington, and I think we have to take it over. We have to take over management of our capital. Nobody has ever seen anything like we're witnessing right now. It is a very sad thing for our country. It's poisoning the blood of our country. It's so bad, and people are coming in with disease.
Pigs. No, I don't want to even. I take that back. I like pigs. Just filth, I guess, is a better word. It's incredible. No, see, that's what they do, though. When we point out what they are, when we point out the truth, then they're like, I know you are, but what am I? That should be the Republican motto. It's not, the party of personal responsibility. It's, I know you are, but what am I? I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off of me and sticks to you. Oh, I'm not a fascist. You're a fascist. I'm not authoritarian. You're authoritarian. You notice how Trump started saying, like, oh, the commies and the fascists. That's what the Democrats are. Commies and fascists. He doesn't even know. Please, define it. Define it. Oh, you should see what he does. You should see it. Like nobody's ever seen. What he said is terrible. It's horrible. You know what he said. Everybody knows. It's the worst. Like no one ever seen how bad it is. I can't. We know it's horror, and that's part of because they're a bunch of morons. Everything's like a Rorschach test. Just, you know what he said. It's terrible. Well, what did he say? Follow up. Nobody does that. Nobody follows up. What are you talking about? Give me a specific. Well, everybody knows what he said. It's terrible. Like nobody ever seen it. Yes. Oh, no. It's not. It's not. You're in a cult. You're in a cult. See, I've had Trumpanzees say things like, I told you about this, I think, where they're like, well, how come I don't see people wearing Build Back Better shirts or Build Back Better hats or Biden hats? First, there's numerous reasons. One reason is that we're not in a cult. That we don't get our identity from Biden. Biden is the president. He's not our reason to live. He's a representative. He's the president. We don't get our identity from Biden. It does help that we have, as Americans, I think it helps to have a president who isn't a filthy, lying con man, though. Because one of the things that we could say for sure during the illegitimate Trump so-called administration was that he was an international embarrassment, and he continues to be. Oh, earlier today, and didn't save this video. I grabbed it, but I didn't save it. And it was Katie Tur on MSNBC, and what was she saying exactly? It was like, something about, I don't know, something to do with the government, right? And let's just say they were talking about the Speaker of the House. They're like, the Speaker of the House, and coming up in our next segment, this Jim Jordan and the other one, David Duke without the baggage, are vying to become the Speaker of the House. What does Donald Trump have to say about that? I think that's exactly what she said. And I was like, this is the problem, right? What does Donald Trump... Who fucking cares? Why? Why are you inflicting him on us constantly? What does Donald Trump have to say about that? It's like, that's what I cannot wait. When the day, it will come. Remember the days when we didn't have to think about Trump at all? That's another thing I like about Biden. I don't spend my days worrying about Biden or thinking about him. I can do other things. With Trump, it's always like, Trump, what did he say now? What did he do now? Who did he, who did he call a fat pig now? What traitorous thing did he do? What classified document did he tweet? What authoritarian dictator's ass did he lick now? What thing did he do to embarrass us again? Right? Every day, but it never stops, and that's why one of the things when he lost in a landslide, as he did, I thought, thank God we won't have to hear about him anymore. Hopefully he'll just go back down that fake gilded sewer that he crawled out of and leave us alone. But what's going to happen, like I was saying, is that the Republican Party will never be able to get rid of him. They will never, because they're not courageous, obviously. And reports have been coming out about how they understand what a con man and a traitor he is, but they're afraid. It's like in the impeachment, they were afraid to vote against him. Some of them. It was the most bipartisan impeachment in American history, but still not enough because of the Republican inherent cowardice, who they were like, I don't want these people bothering me. I don't want them harming my family. Well, maybe if you all stuck together and, got rid of the parasite, yeah, they could have done it. They had many opportunities, but of course, and they're traitors, so what are you going to do? That's what I'm saying. So they're very upset that Hillary called them out, that they're in a cult. And they are. Let's see, Trump cults. Just looking it up, because some of the reactions are priceless. Like Uncle Byron Donalds, he tweeted, where the fuck is that? He's another one. Byron Donalds, Speaker Byron Donalds. The freshman. Why don't you just make it Speaker George Santos? Why not? Oh my God, look at Byron Donald's Twitter feed. I'm honored to endorse President Donald J. Trump. Why do I always have to say J. Trump? Does that make him more of impressive somehow? Donald J. Trump. Fuck you. Traitor. They're all, and he's a worse traitor. Byron Donalds. Uncle Byron. Jesus Christ. On so many levels, a traitor. How do you go home for Thanksgiving, Uncle Byron? I'm honored. You're honored? You're honored to endorse a traitor who waves around classified documents? The traitor who was like, someone who mishandles classified documents cannot be the president. They're unfit. And then all of the traitors in the Nuremberg rally pipe in, lock her up, lock her up. And there he is. A traitor Trump. Waving classified documents around. And how are we ever going to regain our reputation? Right? Traitor Trump. We have him on tape, too. Right? Here's Traitor Trump.
This was him. This wasn't done by me. This was him. All sorts of stuff. This page is long. Look.
Somebody else's fault.
Wait a minute. Let's see here.
Yeah.
I just found, isn't that amazing?
It's amazing.
This totally wins my case,
Yeah.
Except it is like highly confidential, secret. This is secret information.
Isn't that funny? Look at these classified documents. Now, there are people who mishandled classified documents and they're in jail now. If you and I mishandled classified documents, if we took the classified document home, that would be enough to put us in jail. If we waved it around and showed it to some bitch sitting in our office because we need validation from anybody who's unfortunate enough to be in the vicinity of earshot of this traitor, it's we would be already in prison by now. Any one of us. Different laws for different people. They're like, oh, we have a 2-tiered justice system. We sure do. One tier is for the rest of us, and then there's the other for Donald damn Trump. Oh, God. If I never have to hear that name again, it will be too soon. Uncle Byron tweets, we are nearly 1 year from the next presidential election, and the Democrats are using the, quote, justice system to tilt the scales in favor of corrupt, inept, and decrepit POTUS Joe Biden. Oh, Uncle Donald, Uncle Byron. Decrepit? Corrupt? Inept? He sure is wiping the floor with you goons, you fools. You clowns. You filthy clowns. Jesus Christ. Where is this? Where is? I was trying to find the tweet where he's like, Hillary called us a cult. This is the same one. Who called us deplorable. Let's see if I can find it. She said we're in a cult. Every time you tell them the truth, these fuckers, they cry. You notice that? Every time a Republican hears the truth, that's when they start whining. Wait, what is Boo Boo doing? Oh, okay. I thought he was looking at himself. He got fixed yesterday. He is licking himself, but not in the spot. You can't. He's not wearing his cone, as you noticed, because he wouldn't keep it on. I had that cone on him. You can't only put it on so tight. I had a few cones. I tried different ones, and I thought he would settle down. He did not stop until he got that cone off. He did it numerous times, and the second time he did it, I was like, all right, well, just keep it off because he's not gonna quit. And there he is. He's not licking himself, so we'll see. So, okay, here it is. Here's Uncle Byron says, Congressman Uncle Byron Donalds says, 7 years ago, Hillary Clinton infamously labeled half our country deplorable and irredeemable. Last night on CNN, she called... Oh, excuse me, disgusting. That's from the Crystal Light. She called Republicans extremists and a cult and called for formal deprogramming of Republicans across the country. This is unhinged behavior. Really? And there they go. Kayleigh McEnany. Hillary Clinton on CNN says Trump supporters must be formally deprogrammed. Sadly, then there's the quote, deplorable moment times 10. Hillary Clinton has debuted a new line of defense for Biden in 2024. Republicans are racists, sexist, deplorable cult members that need to be deprogrammed, Soviet style. What's the left's new game plan? Smears, lawsuits, and spooks? Jesus Christ. Well, let's, set the record straight, frankly. We know that Hillary Clinton, she didn't call half the country deplorable. She called the maggots, the ones who, she specified them. This is why that Democrats really get on my nerves, because they're constantly apologizing for nothing, for being right. You don't apologize when you're on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy. And Hillary Clinton should have stood her ground. She didn't say anything that wasn't true when she called them deplorable. I'm trying to find the exact quote. I had it. Now I lost it. Let's see. Hillary. I have to write it again. Clinton. Deplorable. She said, in 2016, Hillary Clinton referred to half of Donald Trump's supporters, not half the country. Wait, hold on. Boo-boo. No. He was licking himself there. So, in 2016, Hillary Clinton referred to half of Donald Trump's supporters as belonging in a basket of deplorables characterized by racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic views. What did she say that was wrong? The Trump campaign repeatedly used the phrase against Clinton during and after the 2016 presidential election, and many Trump supporters adopted the deplorable moniker themselves in reappropriation. Clinton later expressed regret for her comments, saying that they were a factor in her election loss. Bullshit. If she had stood her ground, what do you have to apologize for? You know what I mean? Why don't they ever consult me? Right? Am I wrong here? What do you guys think? Because she should have just said, I'm not apologizing. It's true. I qualified it. I said what exactly. I'm not saying all of them. It's like what Biden does with the maggots. You know, he says the MAGA Republicans. Well, he calls them Republicans, but that's what she did. MAGA, you know, the basket of deplorables. It's half of Trump's supporters. Not half of the Republicans, not half the country. Half of Trump's supporters are racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic. I think she was being modest. She was really lowballing that number. I would say more than half. That's for sure. You put any Trumpanzee or any Trump supporter, let's say, hook them up to a lie detector. I'm telling you, give me 10 minutes with each one of them. And if they had truth serum, I know it's difficult for them, but to tell the truth, but they had to tell the truth. Or hook them up to a lie detector. You know that they would be racist, homophobic, Islamophobic, sexist, xenophobic. That's their entire platform. What else? I mean, these are the people that are like woke because we want to be nice. We want to be considerate. You know, you want to call people by their names. You want to, you know, be humane and treat people with decency and dignity. There's nothing wrong with that, except if you're a right-winger. Oh, they don't want to be called what they are. That's why they're like, they say we're in a cult. Have you seen yourselves lately? Look in your closet. How many Trump shirts do you have? How many stupid Trump shirts? I wish these idiots, you know, somebody would ask them, when you call yourself a patriot, what does that mean to you? Oh, it means freedom. What does freedom mean? You know, just keep asking. What do you mean freedom? The freedom to do what? You know, we're free. In what way? Are you free to go to a doctor when you're sick without going on GoFundMe for medical care? Are you free to be sick? Free to experience the frailties of human existence? Free to take a day off when you're sick? Are you free to stay home with your child? Or when you have a child, do you get maternity leave or paternity leave like the rest of the world? Are you free to take a vacation? No. We're the only country on earth that doesn't have mandatory vacation time. We're the only country on earth that doesn't have maternity and paternity leave. Where's your freedom coming from? You know, this is from the pro-baby party, too. Pro-family, but pro-baby. I wish. So, you know, when Hillary says the basket of deplorable, what are you talking about? This is, you know, they're one of the people running for the Speaker of the House in the clown show caucus called himself David Duke without the baggage. We didn't call him that. He said it. These people are so racist, they don't even realize how racist they are. I mean, Uncle Tim Scott literally said that, you know, the Great Society is worse than slavery. Having a social safety net is worse than slavery. They all suck. Uncle Byron, he's the same way. They're all disgusting. Uncle Clarence, Uncle Byron. They're all, I mean, come on. Let's see if I have any handy videos. I see the time is ticking down very. We only have a minute. Oh my God. Oh my God. the pro-baby. So what do you think? I mean, I think that Hillary should not. She says that she lost. It was a factor in her loss. She should have said, I'm not taking it back. I didn't say everybody was that. I said that there's a large portion of them, and I stand by that. You don't like it? Oh, well. Look in the mirror. They never apologize. They never apologize when we have them dead to rights on video. Jesus Christ. They never apologize when the police report comes out. Like Vivek Ramaswamy. He's like, I'm sticking to the lie. That's why. Guys, we will win. We are on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. Thank you for hanging out. Check out APS Radio News. Become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. Give the show a good review. Keep coming back. And it works if you work it. So work it. You're worth it and live it. I'll see you soon. All right. Right. Exactly. Haiku in the chat. Are you free to afford a $400 emergency? Fill your 5-gallon big boy truck fuel tank. 55-gallon, 55-gallon big boy truck fuel tank. Take a day off with your daughter. Exactly. Walk on the frickin' beach. Be a human being for a minute. Take a day off. Go on vacation. That's why other countries are in the list of the happiest places on earth, because they understand, at least they understand it better, the meaning of life. What's the meaning of life? That's why we make, communities. We band together in communities and make a country, make a government. So we stick together, we win. Some days you're up, some days you're down, but there's a floor that we don't fall through, and that's the benefit of citizenship. That's why you want to be an American. There's always even throughout history, the Roman Empire, there were benefits of civilization, of being a citizen, I should say, not just civilization, being a citizen. You had the benefit of law. You couldn't be treated certain ways. You had your daily bread. That was one of the benefits of being a citizen. Even in the Bible, these Bible thumpers. There's Paul in one of their Bible stories talking about, you can't do this to me. I'm a Roman citizen. He's like calling up his rights. I have rights under law. Jesus. Mary and Joseph. Oh, I can't wait till things don't suck as bad as they do. That's right. And that's it. It's like, this is what they were afraid of. That we have empathy. That's why they hate woke. Because empathy it's human. It's what it means to be human. That's why we feel each other's pain. There's nothing more human than that, than caring about each other. And, of course, Republicans want to indoctrinate that very essence of humanity out of humans, out of their cult. Don't care about others. Let them die. Let them die. You're on your own. Here's a gun. Take it to the grocery store. You don't know. You don't know when you're gonna have to shoot somebody. 'Cause they hate each other. They hate their country. They hate their fellow citizens. Anyway, if Jim Jordan becomes the speaker, because I see Parado saying a Jim Short speakership is really what we need right now. Well, if that happens, it's going to be a clown show. It's going to be, it'll work in our favor ultimately. What concerns me is Ukraine, of course, because these Putin puppet traitors are all talking about, we don't need to support Ukraine. We have our own problems. When funding for Ukraine is nothing. It's like a pittance of the military budget. It's in fact like a penny on the dollar. And what do we get on that return on investment? We get Putin on the ropes, I should say. And we have a vested interest in helping a democracy survive and not allow it to fall to authoritarianism. I mean, what the hell? Well, anyway, that's gonna be a problem. But we will see. We will see. We will fight. And on that note, before I go, I'll play this Lincoln Project video that I saw today. I thought it was pretty good about that very topic of Ukraine and Republicans turning their backs on a democracy that we in fact pledged to defend, to help defend. We're not sending people over there. They're doing the fighting. And if we pull out of there, it will be just another episode of Cut and Run, courtesy of the filthy fascists who hate America, the Republican Party. And because the Ukrainians, part of a treaty that they signed to get rid of their nuclear weapons was that we agreed to defend them if in case of emergency, to help them overcome whatever military challenges they might have. And nothing is more pressing than an authoritarian dictator trying to take over a fledgling democracy. A brutal, disgusting journalist just murdering dictator who not only murders journalists and opposition leaders, but he murders people on the soil of our allies. He goes into England, he goes into other countries that are our allies and murders them there too, which is a fucking outrage. But Republicans like Putin because they want to make this country just like Putin's Russia, as weak and as disgusting and authoritarian as that country. So here's this powerful video that I saw. I thought you might like it too.
Munich, September 30th, 1938. Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain abandons the people of Czechoslovakia to the whims of a monstrous dictator named Adolf Hitler. The war that followed shook the earth to its very foundations. Washington, September 30th, 2023. Republicans demand that America abandon the people of Ukraine to the whims of a monstrous dictator named Vladimir Putin. History has taught us the cost of appeasement, destruction, oppression, death. For decades, the Republican Party fought the agents of tyranny.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
That all ended when their party leaders sounded more like a dictator than a president who benefited from Russian interference and returned the favor with support of Russian oppression.
It's great to be with you.
President Joe Biden has stood with the Ukrainian people in their fight against Putin, upholding the ideals that America was founded on, ideals that so many fought and died to defend. The choice in 2024 is no longer between two political parties. It's between freedom and oppression, between war and peace. The stakes have never been higher. The cost has never been greater. The choice has never been more clear. It's us or them.
Them. Look at them. Ugh. It's Putin and his puppet. All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out tonight. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Jim, for your super chat. Thank you, Ed, for your super chat. And thank you, Jeffrey Giraffe, for your super chat. Your very generous super chat. You made my night, guys, and you make my day every day. Yep. All right, listen. Remember, we'll get together again soon. During the week, we'll have a weekday show. All right, how's that sound? What do you think? Anybody? Do you like this show? I don't know. I'm only kidding. I'm not going there right now. I'll save it for my shrink. Listen, okay, guys. Thank you again. We will win. Check out APS Radio News. My name is Tara Devlin. We're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. We stick together. We win. I'll see you guys during the week.